speech is fine, and I'm inclined to make that our blog post. So before we start talking about my very witty comment under number 2, please read it out loud.
To be or not to be, that is the element.
There is no to be. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay, so we're going to have time to talk about that speech, but we're not going to have time to talk about Hamlet's lost opportunity. Amelia, however, has already referred to it. And I'm inclined to make this the blog post instead of what I was going to do. There is a moment, so before we do to be or not to be, there is a moment where Claudius is praying, and it is Act 3, Scene 3, and Polonius has just gone and said, hey, I'm going to go spy on him some more. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave you here by yourself. And Claudius delivers a soliloquy. In my text right here, it's line 35. But Act 3, Scene 3. Actually, it's Act 3, Act 4, Act 3, Scene 3. And his soliloquy is about himself trying to pray so that he can be absolved of the murder. He's just watched the play within the play. He knows he's guilty. He knows that the play was about him. And he prays. And in that moment, someone spies on him. Who spies on him? Hamlet himself. Now, what happens if Hamlet just kills him?
We'll go to heaven, and that's not okay with him, apparently.
Right. Tell us how you know that.
Because he says, since he's trying to pray to be absolved of his sins, he'll go to heaven because he's doing a good thing.
And why is that not vengeance?
Because it would be a reward instead of a not reward. Punishment.
Yeah. And what? And who did not have that benefit? Who did not get to go to heaven like that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the king.
The ghost. Exactly.
Big Hamlet guy. Big Daddy Hamlet.
And yet, if he had acted in that moment, would Claudius not be dead? Would this not be accomplished? What happens with the play?
He pours poison.
Right. No, I know. No.
Not the, wait,
No, I
the
meant
whole
what
play?
happened. I meant this big play.
This
Like
It ends.
the play's over here.
Oh,
Kant's
he killed
resolved.
Claudius.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to revisit that, and I think I will develop it into a blog post where we can imagine a world in which Hamlet himself can actually take action. But as we're about to find out, he can't.
Wait, but then he's gonna be king. He doesn't want to be king.
I don't know that. Does he?
Well,
Probably not. He wants to die.
He's definitely not. He wants to kill himself. He's definitely not in a suitable mindset to be king.
But would he feel like an obligation, like a duty to his country
Yeah.
and to his father to take the town?
you're so far ahead of
And
yourself.
he definitely thinks he's more capable than Claudius.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't see anything
And
in
he
Claudius.
is.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just prepping you that you're going to revisit that over the holiday, okay? But right now what we're going to do, and we don't have enough time to do it, we're going to read the most famous speech in Shakespeare, and we're going to do it together. And we may have to revisit this on the other end after the other side. Thank you so much. And that's fine. I tried to cram a lot of Act 3, which is the most important act into one block, so if we spill over to the next one, it's okay, right? Good. So let's read this out loud together, and at least do a little preliminary with it. Let's read it end punctuation to end punctuation. And who would like to attempt the most famous line in the English language? Let's all do it.
Is this an
Let's
ambiguous
everybody
order?
say to be or not to be, that is the question. Let's hear how many different ways it can be said. Sarah Kate, you start.
Okay, to be or not to be, that is the question.
Oh, to be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Well, give it to me differently.
To be or not to be. That is the question.
Well, somebody keeps writing it on my board. To be or not to be or not to be, that is the question. I mean,
Doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
It's
And what have we
syncopated.
noticed? What have we
But it's supposed to
noticed?
stand out.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I think I must have heard this line a million times before I actually thought about it. Did you ever really think about what he was asking?
No.
Right. But not actually like sitting with it and asking ourselves, what is he saying? What is he saying?
Should I
Should I
kill
kill
myself?
Should I kill myself?
Or just stick with it?
What was the philosopher that said that suicide was the only like worthwhile question in philosophy?
I think it's Nietzsche, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's
No,
Kevin
you know,
Coe.
and then I was thinking
Thank you.
about this in a sense when he's like, oh, my friend probably killed himself because that's how he thought, like, what did he say? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? When-
ending?
Yeah, when he thought that, what was his name?
Adrian.
Adrian, when he thought that before he initially like knew everything that happened, he thought that Adrian killed himself for like the philosophical reason. It kind of reminded me of this.
Very much so. Very much so.
Adrian was Hamlet.
Adrian as Hamlet. I can see casting Adrian as Hamlet.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then
Ophelia's no.
Veronica would be
No.
Wait, she kind of is, cause she has like,
And then he's got the mom.
cause like she has like she has.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Oh
wait.
incest.
Oh my
God. No, I was gonna say that
The
Ophelia like.
incestuous mother.
I was gonna say Ophelia is kind of like Veronica because she has like a dual sense of obedience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Is
Adrian
every
and
we
her
could
mom.
peel apart like every book ever, and I bet it's been influenced by Shakespeare's writing.
That's why we're going to read the to be or not to
Okay,
be.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so now, Sarah Kate, would you start us off again?
Yes.
Punctuation mark to punctuation mark. We're just going to read through. We're not going to have time to discuss. We will come
Like-
back to it after the break.
And a period.
To a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and, by opposing, end them.
To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation. Sorry, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished.
To die, to sleep, perchance to dream.
Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause.
There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life.
For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pains of despised love and law's delay, the insolence of office and the spurs that pinned merit of the unworthy task, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin.
Who would furrows bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of.
Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied or with the pale cast of thought and enterprise of great pitch and movement,
with this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
I'm so sorry, Hannah. If I hadn't read it, then we would know that there's exactly 8 lines in the soliloquy, which is sort of a miraculous thing, 8 lines. We are going to spend time with this on the other side, but I'm wondering if you could pair with someone else and decide where you think the shifts in argument are. Let's get that far with it. So